Bad Life Podcast! You're listening to the Bad Life Podcast, your number one guide on how to run a profitable band. Here are your hosts, Pete Stannard and Adam West, the Wizard of Rock! Hello, and welcome to the Band Life Podcast. I am your host, Pete Stannard, and I am here with my wonderful co-host, the Wizard of Rock himself, Mr. Adam West. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Enough of that.
Just like that.
Just like that, my friend. How are you on this rather soggy day here in Brighton? I'm going to be honest with you. It's not sunny Brighton today.
No, it's not. The weather outside our rather lovely Welshy environment is actually pretty pleasant this morning.
This is episode 22, believe it or not. 22. Wow. I know, it's like we're doing this on the regular.
It's not bad, mate. 22.
22. And I've got some news. Okay. I have started a new music project. And it's as much an experiment as it is just putting music out and hoping people enjoy it. Just as a bit of a background, I've been kind of kicking this idea around for a while. And probably the main reason I haven't done it previously was because I've just been too busy and things like that. Got a little bit of downtime before I get too many clients again, that sort of thing. So I thought I would do this. One thing I've noticed is with my clients, because obviously I do lots of strategy stuff, lots of background stuff with them to try and get their music as successful, quote unquote, as possible, more so they can achieve their goals, I suppose.
Yep.
And while they do, they improve their streaming numbers, they get radio play. Georgia's been nominated for a British Country Music Award and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they achieve those successes, quote unquote again, the thing I've noticed is what they tend to do is cherry pick the strategies or the advice or whatever that they want to do. The sort of stuff they're comfortable with, I suppose, which I think is fair enough because I'm not going to force anyone to do anything they don't want to do. But I'm always a little bit like, would they be getting more from the advice that I give if they were full on doing everything? And obviously I can't expect them to do it for me. They have to do it for themselves. So that's why I started this project. It's called My God Machina, and it's essentially me. It's going to be a band at some point, but it's starting completely from scratch. I didn't want it to be a project just about, oh, I did this and this was successful, and it's literally just win. Come and see me play live or go and listen to my music, all that sort of stuff. I wanted it to be a bit more involved, I suppose. Okay. So I decided that I'm just going to document everything that I do.
Right, okay.
On social media, everything from conception to release, finding musicians, organizing gigs, the full shebang.
Wow.
Anyone that's following these different channels will get basically everything I know, everything that I'm doing, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. There's probably going to be a lot of ugly.
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to be honest. That's kind of the mindset that I've got towards this.
Okay.
Anyway, I'd love to hear your opinion on this so far.
It's a little mixed because it's bold putting your own advice to good use. And I suppose really the only way to see if there are any results from it is to actually get out there and do it yourself. I think it's a good idea because for me too, I'm kind of testing the water for a lot of things as we go through the band cycle.
Yeah.
And I think it is important because you touched on something a while back about how, and I bring it up quite a bit in our conversations in band chat, and how the music industry isn't what it used to be anymore.
No.
It changes either whether it's daily or weekly. And so there's something I reiterate to the guys. I said, look, me and Pete have talked about this. I said, obviously, he's been in the business a long time. I said, if you are going to progress and you're going to move forward with anything, I said, I know, even just prior to talking to Pete, that it's changed. But I said, the fact that it changes daily or weekly from the conversation we had, I said, it's actually quite scary. I said, so what we were doing no longer works. And you have to really, because it's moving along so quickly, you really have to get into what works and work with that. So what you're doing here is really good because I would like to see how much you adapt to current affairs and how it's playing out with us. So like next week, there might be something new that pops up. Now I notice what your slap is. I'm not going to mention it, but I'm looking at it and I'm going, right, now we've got a big change already happening again. And I'm just like, you're like, okay, so how does that work? And in terms of what you were saying about some of the clients only cherry picking what advice you've given them, I think a part of that is because it's just the human way, right? We don't like to listen to things that are written in stone that might benefit us. And we certainly don't like taking advice from other people because we like to do it ourselves. I think that's kind of our innate nature anyway. I think what advice they have taken should be a plus and a bonus for yourself. Anyway, I've done the same. I've cherry picked some bits and pieces and go, okay, there's a lot I can't do. There's a lot that some bands can't do because they haven't got X, Y, and Z in place. So,
and to interject, it's not to diminish what they've already done. It's more because I think I'm on the outside of it and I can look at it objectively. It's much easier for me to go, well, why didn't you do that? Because it's only an extra sort of 10% of what you've already done. And whether it's a case of that 10% is too much, they feel like they've already hit 100%. To go to 110 is just a bit too much of a load to bear. Not coming from a place of, oh, you should be doing this. It's more of coming from a place of, is the advice I'm giving, is that good, solid advice from an ecosystem point of view? That's what I keep going on about. The ecosystem of, well, in your ecosystem, if you're feeding this part, will that affect this part over here? That sort of thing. The general way of the way that ecosystems work is that if one part isn't looked after, then the whole thing can collapse, or this area will collapse, that sort of thing. So I'm looking at it from that perspective rather than, this client didn't do this, you could have been more successful. It's like, well, no, it's, could this area affect this area? That sort of thing.
So this project and experiment is to actually test the waters then, yeah?
Yes, more to test myself,
right,
and to just keep a check on the advice that I give, because like you say, it changes so rapidly in the music industry. I need to be able, and I need to make sure that what I'm saying works. Because
I don't doubt it doesn't, or anybody else really. I think it's, and this is what I said to the chaps. So my drummer quickly is like very old school, and he would like to do what they used to do in the old school way, which is like, look, let's just get in a van, take our gear, drive to this destination. Hey, we're going to play a gig tonight. And I'm just like, it just don't work like that anymore, unfortunately. I mean, as great as it sounds. So, you have to work with what you've got. And so, like, if the advice that you gave about a year ago doesn't work today, it's like, well, why doesn't that work today? It's like, well, because I don't know, they change the terms and conditions of, say, something on social media platforms. So it's impossible that it could work today. So there's a lot of contributing factors. I think that some of the top advice that you give on some of the shows that we've done is great if you're one of those bands that are able to tick off some of those boxes. So there's a lot that I can't tick off as a band because it's impossible. We just don't. We don't have or funds or transport to put in place, say, two of the things that we could try. And there's stuff like that. So for me, if I was to go, right, I'm ready to try this advice now, you might go, it probably ain't going to work now because the industry has changed in 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
6 months ago that was fine, but now,
right.
But to be honest, I think this is not to kind of discredit 21 episodes of this podcast. What we've talked about is kind of fundamental stuff that can be tweaked to fit a music artist's preferences.
Yeah.
So it's quite a broad perspective.
Sure.
We've not really sort of drilled down into very specific stuff, and that's what I'm hoping that this project will do, is that I can drill down more into what is going on in the industry and how it's affecting me as an artist. And then I can put that into this podcast, especially, so that I'm giving advice that's on the ground. That's kind of the point of this podcast and the point of this project, is that as things change, and if something doesn't work, then I can say, well, this doesn't work, but for the next song or for the next whatever, I'm going to tweak it to this, and we'll see if that works. Right. And then if that works, then we've got our answer. Because the industry evolves so much, I think as artists, we have to evolve with it. And
well, yes, that's true.
And that's what this project is about, just as much as releasing great music at the end of the day, because that's going to be the fundamentals of this whole project of My God Machina, is that you have to have the music there first. If you haven't got good music, then forget it.
all that advice that you give on the recording aspect and stuff, I think that will always be. I don't think any of that will really change.
Wise,
It's kind of like the I don't know, the laws in stone. It's like, well, if you don't do that, you ain't gonna get that. So, and it's just the peripherals of sound engineering music has probably changed. Yeah. So, like, it's digital, less analog, and that sort of thing. But yeah, with this, like, the fundamental basis will always be there. Like,
the fundamentals of songwriting and things like that. But kind of, I suppose, playing devil's advocate on that, if you said to someone 5 years ago that people would be able to generate music and release it, and it would be to a standard that would have
the AI thing,
millions of streams. Yeah, exactly. So adding that dynamic has come in now.
Yeah, well, we touched on an episode very early on about that, and it was mind blowing. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, and that was only a year or so ago. That was I think episode 2 and 3. I think we did a
quite early on, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was very early on. Yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
It was good. It was good. And we used Suno and we generated stuff, and it wasn't very good. But this was a year ago, and that technology has moved on and on and on. What was it last week? There's an AI artist, like the actual avatar, signed a $3 million record deal. So what? How does this compute? But surely that's the person writing the prompt. But no, it's the actual avatar itself. But anyway, I digress about the craziness that is the music industry. So
back to
this project, but how are we going to start? This is kind of the thing that I've been really sort of knocking around in my head, was how was I going to start this from kind of ground zero? And I thought I'd start with a piece of social media advice that I give to all my clients. Whenever someone turns around to me and says, I want to improve my social media stuff, I always say to them, well, the best way to get people interested in your band and follow your accounts
Listen carefully.
is to have a story or a concept or both. If you can put that into one thing, great. And this is one piece of advice that I feel has never actually been sort of followed through on. So I thought this was a great time to actually test this piece of advice.
Okay.
And I think the reason that it hasn't been done by any of my clients is because it's quite a personal thing to do. If you're going to put a story in, because you're going to have to be very authentic. People can smell a lie like a fart in a lift. Okay. So
yes,
you have
they
to be
can.
very authentic about this. So if you're on there saying, I'm doing this because I'm doing X, Y, Z, and it comes across as you're kind of lying, you're going to get a lot of backlash from the internet, shall we say. So you have to be very vulnerable about how you're going to do this, and it's not for everyone. And I think that's why people haven't done this.
Okay.
The first post I put out was a concept story post explaining this very experiment. Okay. Right. I posted it on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts.
Seen it on Instagram, yeah.
You've seen it on Instagram. Good. At least this gets somewhere. My main focus, though, was TikTok, because I feel that platform is more community-based than the others.
Okay.
And my goal was proof of concept, okay? My secondary goal was to test the algorithms themselves.
That's always fun, isn't
it? Yeah, because a lot of the advice you get is things like, if you've got no followers on Instagram, for example, it's going to prioritize your followers. So if you've got no followers on Instagram, it doesn't really go anywhere because you've not got anyone following you. So who's it going to show it to? That sort of thing. And I'm like, well, surely they must show it to a select few. So this is why I was like, right, I've got no followers. I'm not following anyone. This is purely baseline stuff for the algorithm.
This is very cool.
Okay. So the results will speak for themselves. Okay. Like I say, first goal was proof of concept. Second goal was to test the algorithms to see if the sort of advice that I'd heard about the algorithms, because I don't know, I'm not a coder, I'm not into all that sort of stuff. So I can only sort of get second-hand information about the algorithms. But generally, the information I've got is from people like the head of Instagram.
Okay.
So if he doesn't understand their algorithm, we're in trouble. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's
basically,
true,
if that first post didn't go well, if it went well, I would carry on. Doesn't go well, then I'd either have a rethink. I would at least stop giving that piece of advice to my clients as such about the sort of concept story kind of merge of things. What we're going to do, we're going to pause now, and we're going to do my slap for you, my friend.
Slap. It's good.
Slap. We
need some slaps.
We've not done a slap in a while. My slap for you to either give the thumbs up or thumbs down. You are the judge on this.
Let's go.
Mr. West. My slap is Mr. Daniel Ek.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, actually, you might, and the listeners might be a little bit, well, hang on. Because he's done something good recently. Because he's stepped down as the CEO of Spotify, which surely is a good thing because he's, I think, one of the most deplorable human beings on the planet.
But they'll only get somebody else in, won't they?
They've already got...
We need another asshole. Are you? Right, okay, step up, please. Thank you.
Basically, his number 2 is now the CEO. I can't remember his name. But the main reason he stepped down, according to Spotify, was due to artists leaving. They're basically pulling their catalogs from Spotify because what they call, and I've got quote unquote, dystopian technologies.
Dystopian technologies. I love
yes. So
1984.
If you're unsure of this story, Daniel Ek has a company called Prima Materia. It's an investment company which on the face of it is fine. Nobody's complaining about investment companies, but he's investing in a company called Helsing, which develops AI technology for, well, war, essentially. Those big drones that fly around blowing up children. There you go.
That's right, people. That is right. Okay, you cannot make this up.
No,
apparently
you cannot. Amongst other things, like
when you
autonomous pilots. So you won't have people flying planes, warplanes anymore. You're doing it.
it's Skynet, it's Terminator,
Yeah, that's what I was
and
gonna
people
say.
call us crazy. I'm like, hello. What the
It's the start of every dystopian sci-fi film
I'm
ever.
telling you. And they're like, oh, you guys are crazy. I'm like, shut up.
What are you talking about?
It's like,
Anyway.
yeah, okay.
Anyway, a lot of people would be like, well, surely it's a good, why are you slapping him then? Because it's a good thing. He's stepping down, the artist could come back and all the rest of it. It's not quite the full story, and this is something that they've not quite put out. He stepped down as CEO, but he's still the chairman of Spotify. So it's not like he's just left. Okay, firstly. Secondly, Daniel Ek's reason himself, not Spotify, but Daniel Ek's reason for stepping down is so he can concentrate more on Prima Materia, the company that is investing in these dystopian technologies.
Don't you just love the way they word things?
It's great, isn't it?
It's just like, so nothing's changed there.
No-
You just,
Nothing. Actually, what he's done is he's doubled down. Technically, he's doubled down on the thing that that people don't want him to do, because now he's spending more time doing that.
yeah, well, he's just put somebody else in the firing line. That's all he's done. So his mate is like, oh, this is great, thank you. I love you, boss. And he's just like, you can get the flack for it, I ain't. I'll carry on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy's earning what for the CEO of Spotify? I think Daniel Ek was earning something ridiculous.
I've just-
like 350 million a year.
I just had a juice drink. I do not want to throw up, Pete. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure he'll be well compensated for his thing. For his position, whoever steps in. So yeah, in a way, they're appeasing the artists that aren't happy with the investments while doubling down on the very thing that they're not happy about. And I don't know if he thought no one would notice this this thing.
But he's hoping that 90% of the population go, there you go. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's not
there we
90% now. The scales have been tipped. People
Yes.
are like,
Sniff
two
this
away
red
now.
herring. There we go. I'll send you on your way. The judgment is with you, my friend. Does Daniel Ek get a slap, or does he get left alone? I don't know what the other side of that is. A kiss from you.
I think if I didn't initiate the king of all slaps, people would be upset with us on this show, and our number one fan wouldn't be very happy, possibly. I would try to look at it in a reasonable way, but there isn't, I'm afraid, is it? They've just handed it to somebody else, and he's carrying on, and he could argue by saying, well, I stepped down.
That's the kind of spin line on it, I suppose, from Spotify.
Give him a slap, Pete. Give him a slap.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Daniel Ek, as I've put in the notes, what a dick. Daniel.
Backhand.
Sorry, mate,
Yeah.
you suck. Okay, you're going to get extra slaps for that. Anyway, enough of that.
Could go on all day with that.
It
Brilliant.
could go on all day about that. So you want to hear about the concept
Go for it.
that I put out. So here's the concept. Basically, in this first post that I put out, I essentially laid out the experiment itself, but it was coming from a concept of, can a middle-aged music artist starting from scratch be successful, in air quotes,
Right.
in the music industry? Or is the industry inherently ageist?
Inherently ageist.
Yes. So if you said if you go back sort of 20 years, 20 to 30 years, and if you were in a band in your 40s and 50s and you were expected to get signed, for example, that record company would probably laugh you out of their building because you would not be deemed as someone who could sell records, because their viewpoint on it was the only people who buy records are teenagers and 20-somethings, you know, possibly people in their late 20s, early 30s or something. There was kind of a ceiling of age, as it were, back then.
Yeah.
You know, nobody got signed above, you know, in their late 20s. It's certainly not in their 30s. Sort
That's
of
right.
thing. And I'm not sure if to this day people our age, in our 40s, are getting that kind, certainly not getting the industry representation element from it.
I don't think so. I think it's fresh, young blood. It always has been, I think.
Yes. But and the reason that I put successful in air quotes is that I consider independent artists to be a part of the music industry because they generate money and they invest in the music industry through things like recording and all the rest of it. They are a part of that industry, whether you agree with that or not. That's your prerogative. My point of view on it is that even independent artists are a part of the music industry, and to be successful, that depends on your viewpoint of success at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the concept is, can an old bloke be quote unquote successful in the music industry? Whether that's an independent artist or a signed artist, I have no idea. Okay. It's literally starting from the ground up. We're at ground zero. So
us old blokes, we need recognition too.
We do. We are people as well, you know.
Yes.
Ish.
Right.
We may be old and infirm, but you know. Anyway.
Oh God.
So you see, told you. Anyway, I put this post out. Was it a success or a flop, I suppose, is the thing.
Oh, you got some stats, have you? Great. But before you continue, I'm quite excited to hear what the stats are on this. I love some stats, especially with something new.
So, yes. So, I put this post out, and obviously this is, because it's an experiment, it's going to be very much data-driven anyway. So, I'm going to give you these stats. Now, what you need to keep in mind is that this is the very first post on all of these accounts. They have no followers, and I'm not following anyone. Okay.
Got you. Right.
And this is just in a 48-hour window. I'm going to start with Instagram. Now, I wasn't expecting a lot from Instagram because I'm not following anyone. There's no followers. And generally, the algorithm, the advice that is given is that the algorithm shows it to your followers. If followers engage with it, then they put it out to more people, so on and so. That's how the algorithm works, apparently.
Take notes, people. This is really important.
Instagram, I got 210 views, 4 likes, and 2 followers. Key takeaway from Instagram, in this case, is that the algorithm is probably going to show, even if you have no followers and you're not following anyone, it's probably going to show your post to around 200 people. And then I presume the other 10 around there, something like that, was because I got 4 likes and 2 people started following. So that gives us a little bump to show it to another 10 people, and they weren't interested, so they went, nah, no more.
Okay, and this is not paid. It's free as well, isn't it?
No, this is all organic.
Organic, got you.
So this is literally just putting posts out. This isn't. It's not even a business account. This is all creator accounts.
Okay.
So the next one I did was YouTube. It went out on YouTube Shorts, not on YouTube, if that makes sense, because it's a short video.
YouTube Shorts do really well, man. Yeah.
Well, that got no subscribers, not subscribing to anyone. So this is at baseline. Okay. That got 787 views. It got 7 likes, 4 comments, and I got 10 subscribers.
Wow. Flipping heck.
But actually, what was really interesting, I thought, was you got 7 likes, but 10 subscribers.
10 subscribers is what you want, because like what you're saying, if you want people to follow you, you need to get the emails and whatever, don't you?
Yeah. But what's interesting is that 3 of the subscribers didn't hit the like button. They just subscribed. That's what's interesting, I think, from that.
What does that mean, though, see?
I don't know, because normally if I'm going to subscribe or follow a channel, at least like, and then that would be kind of my kind of thought process behind it. But there are people out there that will just subscribe or just follow, but not actually like the video that they've watched.
Yeah, I think I do that myself, and I'm not sure why either.
Well, you like it, or you just follow?
I subscribe because there's probably something within the content that I'm like, that's good, sounds solid, straight to the point advice, no bullshit. I'll subscribe, because if you're going to do anything else like that, I want to get a notification about it.
Yeah.
And for some unknown reason, for reasons unknown, I don't often like it. I do like pages that offer advice and give me a result and a answer to a problem that I have, like maybe editing software. Yeah, send advice straight to the point. Like, I probably won't subscribe for that reason, because I've got the advice I want. That person's probably only going to dish out more advice on issues that I'm probably not going to have. So that's worth taking home for yourself.
Yeah.
All right?
That's worth. Yeah, it's a really good point. I like that one. Kind of looking at it from that point of view, coming from pretty much, well, from a baseline of no followers or no subscribers, and you're not subscribed to anyone, you are going to get pushed more on YouTube than you will on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just as a quite an interesting point. So that leaves the final platform, which is TikTok, which is my target platform. Number of views.
Drum roll, please.
13.2 thousand views.
What, boy? Yes,
122 comments. 94 saves.
Wow.
17 shares. And 530 followers.
Dude.
Off that one post.
That's
coming
incredible.
From nowhere.
Oh, wow.
That absolutely blew me away.
That is staggering.
And I think overall, it proves the concept, certainly on TikTok. It proves that TikTok is much more of a community-based platform, because the comments were really supportive as well. There's only 1 or 2 in there that was a bit like, oh, just use AI, or oh, you're just going to use your industry connections, blah blah blah. And I actually made a follow-up video explaining that I'm not going to use AI and I'm not going to use any industry connections or anything like that, because that would skew this experiment. The experiment's more important than than that.
Oh
anyway.
yeah.
So
guess results. I'll tell you what's pretty neat. This is why they probably want to get shot of TikTok as well, because the platform and its algorithms are really, really good.
Yeah, it's good for that sort of sense of community and things like that. So
wow, that's amazing, Pete. 13.2k views. There we are.
Yeah. Which
122 comments. Got something here, mate.
Great. Got something there. So and the main thing was to prove that piece of advice really works within the TikTok sphere, as it were. And you could say even YouTube as well, because 787 views and 10 subscribers, that's pretty good for YouTube. Instagram, it's obviously not hit as much as you would hope. This sort of post probably doesn't work so well, but time will tell, because obviously there's going to be a lot of different stuff that I'm going to be putting out. So hopefully that will level itself out. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to find out more about that sort of thing. Because I wanted to see how the algorithm works, obviously everything was set to 0. And again, I think this is what's kind of worked out really well, is that my advice of having a story, having a concept, if you can package those 2 things up, people really get behind it. Because all of the a lot of the comments that I got
it's
were
empowering.
people saying, yeah, I'm like in my, I actually one person saying that I'm 97. I think they were joking,
Well,
but I'm not going to, downplay this in any way. But the amount of people who are saying, oh, well, I'm in my 40s, in my 50s, and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. Not necessarily in music as well. It was in different areas as well. And they wanted to hear about the journey itself and the story of it. And
everyone likes a story, Pete. I mean, this is why. See, when we were talking in the band about it, and I said, I'm not a guitar player. I said, I'm a storyteller. I said, I write the story and I put it to the music. I said, that's my strength. I would, at a guest, say about myself. I said, so, but everyone loves a story. And if you can amalgamate that story with some music that really accompanies it, you got a winner. You got a masterpiece. That's all it's about. Like I said, I think that's what's sadly lacking in music. It all just seems to be about how good, how tight, and how loud can I be. And you're like, well, good luck with that. Very good, Pete. Yeah. Love it.
You can get precious.
Love that.
Love it. Good. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe the TikTok, man. That's great. 120.
Yes.
So I would have been like, look at that. Fucking someone's actually responding and commenting. I mean, because that's all we want. We want a conversation, because I can't meet you if you live in America. So let's talk.
Yeah, let's have a chat.
Brilliant.
The toughest thing about that was actually keeping up with the comments, because I like to respond to comments, especially if they're nice, positive ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Takes a lot of time out of your normal schedule.
That's a lot. A lot of time to get. The other thing is you can only follow a certain amount of people at one go. So I'm trying to follow everyone back, but I can't get so many people following. I can't actually keep up, because the platform itself says no, you can only do X amount. Right. I'm not sure what the number.
500, I think it is.
No, it's much less than that, because I.
Oh really?
It's like 10 at a time or something ridiculous, and you got to wait like a whole day or something like that. I think it's so. It's to stop this thing on that. There was a thing on Instagram where what you would do is you just follow as many people as possible. Gain that sort of follower number, and then people feel like they should follow you back because you followed them. Yeah. And then they build that following up purely through reciprocity, I suppose, rather than actually putting out good content. And then what they would do as a tactic was just unfollow. So anyone that follows you, you unfollow, basically. Well, so you kind of get that ratio sort of thing. So I get it from that perspective. So it kind of makes sense from that. TikTok just want to stop that dead in its tracks, I suppose.
They're quite clever, TikTok.
It's a good platform. It's not great for converting or anything like that from a business perspective, and it doesn't. It's different because it shows your posts to people that aren't following you. Like the For You page isn't your followers, if that makes sense. So if you look at your analytics on TikTok, you can see where your post has been shown, and it's always like 90% will be the For You page. That's people not following you. So it's one of those things. This is why it's great for building communities as such, because it's people who haven't seen you before suddenly get to see you, if that makes sense. Whereas Instagram is the other way around, if that makes sense. Although Reels are a bit different because they've tried to implement that in Reels. So I think that's why we've got the 200 views on Instagram, because they're trying to kind of fit that TikTok experience a bit more.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, for us, like, I noticed our Reels do really well on Instagram. I haven't been on TikTok to do much, to be honest, because it's quite it's enough just to post on Instagram, and they send it to Threads and Facebook, and it's like, if you want to pull people in, I said, I mean, they'll watch the shorts, I said, and like we got one that's racking up a 4.4k view, and it's only 30 seconds long, and it's called The Door Knocker's Return. Okay. And I've put like a couple of emojis, and there's a screenshot of JJ in the boot of the car, and I think sometimes they generate an interest, so that's what gets people clicking. But it doesn't reflect our subscriber count, and I've noticed that makes a difference. What has increased our subscriber count is playing the HMVs and meeting people, and they're obviously going on there and subscribing to the channel.
Yeah. Let's kind of hike this back to
That's
topic.
fun, man. That's fun.
Okay.
I forgot.
So, going forward, going forward for My God Machina, there is a roadmap
right.
that I have worked out, shall we say, for this project, and it's probably, I think, a good roadmap, especially if you are just starting out, if you're thinking along the lines of, I want to start a band sort of thing. So, God Machina has a roadmap, and as I've mentioned on this podcast before, and this is going to be a controversial viewpoint.
Here we go.
I don't believe that playing live should be the initial focus when starting a band.
I disagree.
I know. It does actually pain me to say it, but I think the industry has changed. Certainly the live aspect of the industry has changed. Venues can't put on bands like they used to. I think we have, as artists, we have to adapt to that.
Agreed.
I think the focus needs to be on building a fan base.
No.
That's kind of the viewpoint. That's why I'm turning this project away from the traditional roadmap of whoever writes the songs, then you form the band, go into rehearsals, you play live, and then you produce the music, as in recorded music. I'm not going to do that. What I'm doing is I'm going to write the music, and I will show everyone how I write songs. Then I'm going to produce the music, and I will show everyone how I produce the music. Then I will release the music, and again, I'm going to show everyone how I release music. And the releasing is obviously, there's going to be a certain amount of marketing behind that, but the marketing will be focused on building a fan base.
Got you.
Once I've established a fan base, that's when I will muster bandmates, as it were, and then go into rehearsals and then look to play live.
Oh, okay. You're not really doing much different to what I would do anyway, really. It's
No, I mean, the
okay,
roadmap is the same. It's just the journey. It's different from how, from the traditional journey of.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah. So I'm doing this for a few reasons. Okay. Okay. Stick with me on this one. Okay. Firstly, musicians can be really flaky, right? Right. Anyone that's tried to form a band or try to get musicians dedicated to a band, I think this is a really difficult thing to do.
It's my Spinal Tap story, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, how many bandmates how many musicians has the Shallow Souls run through? Is that 17? So on that basis alone, I rest my case. Okay. I hope to find certainly more dedicated musicians, because there's a proven fan base and there's skin in the game already. I think the reason that people or musicians aren't dedicated is because they're not entirely sure things are going to go anywhere. They kind of got a shiny object syndrome of, oh, well, that band over there, they're doing new stuff. Because I think when you initially put stuff out as a new band, you do get an upsurge of people going, oh, I want to check this out. But then that kind of plateaus off.
Absolutely right.
And that's when people lose interest, because other bands get formed and they're like, oh, I need a drummer or whatever. And then I'm just going to like practice a bit with these other band for a while. And then they start playing live and there's the whole new interest in them. So they're like, actually, there's more interest in this one, so I'm going to go over there.
It's my story all over, mate.
Yeah. But if you've already got that fan base there, you're going in this, hitting the ground running. I should get more dedicated musicians to start.
This is going to be fun. I can't wait to see the stats on this. It's going to be a good journey, this is.
Then there's the gigs themselves. We should have better attendance at those gigs for two reasons, right? Firstly, there's a fan base, which is nice. But secondly, what I'll do is I'll find out where that fan base is. So I will target the gigs geographically to where those fans are. What a lot of bands do is I'm just going to play local, build a fan base locally, and then that's it. Well, what if nobody in your hometown likes your music? What if the next town over, there's a huge fan base of people that like your music? What if, in Scotland, or Wales, what if in Wales I have a huge fan base, but I simply don't know they're there? I'm going to play there. I'm not going to play here in Brighton if nobody likes the music here in Brighton. Why would I?
Well, it's kind of what we've done. We've looked at it and gone, no one's really interested. We, from our own town, has gone,
well,
you guys are, it's just like, what?
This is the thing. I'm always kind of like, one of the great advantages, I mean, we've had episodes about the digital era and how it could be destroying the music industry, but one of the great advantages is that you can now reach a global, your fan base is now potentially anywhere on the planet. So
It's mad, isn't it?
what if you were to try and tap into the Asian market? What if you get a huge fan base in Japan? Go and play in Japan. I know it sounds like bizarre, right?
But why wouldn't you? If you've
exactly.
got
If that's where your fans are, go to them. Don't expect them to come to you. I'm here in Brighton. I don't expect bands. I've worked with bands in the States. I'm not saying to them, you need to fly over and get recorded. I say to them, go and record in there and I'll do the mix and mastering here. I'll do what I can do here. If they want me to go over there and they want to pay me to do it, I'm more than happy to do that. I will go wherever my clients are and whatever they want me to do. It should be the same kind of mindset with your fan base. Is you need to try to find out where your fans are so you can go to them. You can't expect them to come to you. And unless you're Taylor Swift, or a Metallica-esque sort of band, people will travel to see you play live. But if you're just a little band, unestablished band, people aren't going to travel hundreds, possibly thousands of miles to see you play live. It's just not going to happen.
That's true.
So what you need to do is find out where they are, and it doesn't need to be difficult. All you need to do is ask them. Say, where the do you live? What, and see what responses you get.
It's a good idea. I might do that.
At the end of the day, what's the worst can happen? What people don't tell you, get silence. Well, all right, well, you're back to square one then. You're only where you are now.
That's true. That's very true.
So you've not lost anything apart from the time of making up a post or whatever. That's the first part of the roadmap, okay? The second part is more sort of an industry viewpoint, I suppose. This is obviously an independent thing. I'm not signed by anyone. I'm not using any industry contacts. Not doing anything like that. But would I rule out representation, things like management and labels? That would really depend on what those sorts of deals would look like, and what those people can bring to the table. As a rule of thumb, they would have to come to me with the deals. I'm not going to go to them.
Got you.
And that's purely because of leverage. One thing that I've learned about this industry is when it comes to deals and agreements and everything, it's all about leverage.
Yeah.
As an artist, you have greater leverage if those people are coming to you. If you're going to them, you're certainly not going to get as good a deal as you could get if they come to you, because they want to work with you.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense, though.
In the interest of this experiment, like the age thing as well. And this could be me just being a little bit cynical. I think there's a little bit of labels and management and kind of the more dodgier, sharkier people within the industry feel that they can manipulate younger people more, especially if they can throw, I'll throw 10 grand at you or something like that. And it's like, okay, if someone throws 10 grand at me, I will happily take it, but I'm not going to sell my soul for it. at the end of the day, because I know 10 grand is not going to last very long if I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Whereas to a 20-year-old or an 18-year-old that doesn't have anything to pay out for, they don't have 3 kids and a business to run. Someone throws 10 grand at them, they're probably going to get a lot more out of that 18-year-old than they would someone in their 40s. Maybe that's me being cynical.
No, I think you're being very realistic. It's true, though.
I think
You're
there's
right.
a certain level of realism to that.
Definitely.
So just to kind of overview the roadmap is I will write the music and I will share all of the processes that I do on this. Okay, this is going to be all on the social media, on the channels. Write, produce, release, using all the strategies, all the stuff that we've talked about in previous episodes. Okay, so a lot of this isn't going to be brand new. There might be sort of more granular stuff. The stuff that we've talked about over the last 21 episodes or so is going to be implemented into this project.
Yeah.
The same with the marketing strategies and things like that. Build the fan base first and then get the musicians in, get into rehearsals. While we're rehearsing, try to work out where our fan base is and then book gigs according to that data that's coming back. I've got a series of videos. The first one came out last night about songwriting, my 5-step process of writing songs. Feel free to go and check that out. It's kind of an overview of the 5 steps, and then I'm going to do the each step as individual videos, which is a bit more of a deep dive into those 5 steps.
Juicy.
The songwriting thing, and then I'll do a series on recording and production. And then I'll do a series on, well, I'll probably rinse and repeat that until I've got a few songs together. And then it'll be a series on how to find musicians. And then it'll be a series on how to rehearse. And then there'll be a series on how to book gigs and how the gigs go and all the rest of it.
What a journey.
That will be the basic roadmap. But the main thing is, I think, is that the scope for the amount of content is huge.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of struggled because a lot of my clients will say, oh, well, we're not really putting anything out at the moment because we just don't have anything to say or we've got nothing to say. I'm like, just say whatever you're doing. You must be doing something. Even if it's, I'm writing this song, treat it more like you're documenting everything rather than you're just constantly trying to flog tickets and getting people to stream your music.
And this is exactly what we've been doing. Like, we would try and release some funny videos. We do want, like, occasionally might go, right, so we released, again, a bit of advice from yourself. We we got a member section on the Linktree page, right?
Okay.
It's member content. So you click on that, join, and we'll send that to you first before anyone else. Yep. And I did that. I basically took ages. I went on Reverb Nation, which I've started using again to try and, because I have a good following on there. It's hit or miss, like a lot of things. But a lot of people join the mailing list, and I checked it out, and it's like a ridiculous amount of people join the mailing list. So I'm like, cool. I'll copy and paste all that to one email. And if we got something new to release, I'll notify everybody. And then I dropped the video. And it was only on for the members only. It didn't get many views when I dropped it as a short on YouTube. So I was like, okay, but it does tell you what emails are active the most, and there wasn't very many. So, but, it did gain something. It probably gained an interest from those that did subscribe, even though it was very little, because obviously Reverb Nation and how long I've been on it is obviously a lot of people have probably left by now. But it did yield the results. So there's something in that. Yeah. It's just obviously, if you push for a you page on shorts, you'll get thousands of views, but none of them are actual followers. So I think it kind of proves in the pudding. It does kind of work. So I did that, and it was us saying like, oh, so what are we working on, guys? And it was an informative video of like what our progress is, and it was a bit comical here and there, but it does work. Yeah. So it's good. Yeah. Go for that.
I'm glad that works. Yeah. And when you've got those kind of email lists and stuff, you've got to try and be as active as you can with that, because If you don't do anything for months and months, and then you pop up, people will go, well, why am I bothering? You'd end up in that unsubscribed list very quickly, because people just don't feel like you're fulfilling your end of the bargain. So, if you're doing sort of once a week, well, maybe once a fortnight, yeah, that's great. And yeah, just try to offer them something as well, as much as possible, because people like treats at the end of the day, Adam.
Yes, they do, don't they?
The treat of you, I know it's a beautiful treat all by itself, but you are not an email at the end of the day. At the end of the day, so that is essentially it, my friend.
Okay.
I just want to thank everyone who has followed me on and been very supportive of this project so far, and it's very early days, but the support has been overwhelmingly positive. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to sort of digging into it even more. So if our listeners want to know more, they can follow, it's My God Machina. There will be links in the show notes or in the bits below, or wherever you kind of get text. On TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Toying around the idea of long form stuff, but we'll see. The other thing I want to shamelessly plug is us, ourselves. Okay. If our lovely listeners want to buy us a cup of coffee, they can do so. The ticker is there. It's buymeacoffee.com/The Band Life Podcast. Please feel free to buy us a cup of coffee, because we are very thirsty.
Well, I like a nice coffee. I
do enjoy a nice cup of coffee. If you want to know more about the Shallow Souls, then jump in the comments. We're more than happy to answer any questions that you may have.
We want to hear.
How long is Adam's beard in real life? Is Adam's beard real, or was it once a badger? That sort of thing.
Damn.
Serious stuff. I've got visions.
Yes, it's very serious, Pete.
When we stop record button, Adam just pulls that beard off. Yeah, this is when he's got a hat on and stuff, because it's just elastic around his ears.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's it. And the hair. The hair comes out. He's bald.
Oh God, can you imagine that?
Head to toe bald, actually.
Can you imagine if I was hiding that from my wife all these years?
All these years. I think she would notice, mate. Bad Life Podcast!